shell sort. In this lesson, we will discuss another method for sorting, which is known as shell sort. Shell sort is one of the oldest sorting methods. It was introduced by D.L. Shell in 1959. It's fast, easy to understand, and easy to implement. However, its complexity analysis is a little more sophisticated. Let's take a look at the sample code for shell sorting. In this sample code, we defined a macro called elements, which has the value of 6. In the next line, we define shell sort function, which contains 2 arguments. Inside the function, we declare the variables called stop, swap, limit, temp, x, and k variables. And then we divide the value of max variable by 2, and the answer will be subtracted by 1. The final result will be assigned to the x variable. The int type is enclosed by parentheses. This is known as typecasting. Here we convert a floating point number to an int type. In this while loop, we check to see if x is greater than 0. If it's true, the control will enter into the loop. In that, we initialize the variable stop as 0. In this line, we subtract the value of max variable by x value, and the answer is assigned to limit variable. Again, we use another while loop. Here, we test whether the value of the stop variable is equal to 0. If the condition reads true, the value of the swap variable will be initialized as 0. This for loop will execute until the value of k is less than limit. Inside the for loop, we test to see if a of k value is greater than a of k plus x. If this is true, these lines will get processed. Outside the for loop, we assign the value of swap minus x value to the limit variable. Here we check another validation, such as swap value is equal to 0. If it is 0, the stop variable will be reinitialized as 1. The second while loop will be terminated if the stop variable's value is not equal to 0. Similarly, the first while loop will be finished when x value is less than 0. Let me come to this line. Here we divide the value of x by 2, and the result will be assigned to x. In the main function, we declare an integer variable called I and an array, namely x, which contains 6 elements because we have already defined the elements macro, which has the value of 6. In the for loop, we show the unsorted elements. Then we invoke the shell sort function by passing x and elements, that is 6. Now the control transfers to the shell sort function and it rearranges the unsorted elements. Once it's finished the sorting process, it returns to the main function. Here we display all the sorted elements using this for loop. To understand this better, let's execute the sample code. Press Alt F9 to compile the code. When it's done, click on OK. Press Ctrl F9 to run the code. Here you can see the unsorted and sorted elements. In this lesson, you have learned the shell sorting method. In this sample code, we've given the 6 elements in the program. You can also input the elements during the run time.